be seated. So I have a new Bible verse as of this week. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. I think I'm going to start saying this every time I enter a room. Do not think that I have come to bring peace. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. Amazing. Some other highlights from our reading today were, whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Also, for I have come to set a man against his father. Jesus has a message for us in today's gospel reading, and it's Happy Father's Day. Father's Day. It is a complicated holiday for me. I am fairly certain that I am not the only one in the room for whom that is true. So preparing to preach today on Father's Day with this reading, the question that I have found myself asking is, what is my inheritance? What has my father given me? So there are some things from my father that I really cherish. My sense of humor, the fact that I'm a dreamer definitely comes from him, my ability to start a conversation with just about anyone, my writing, and my love of language. I love these things. And then there are some things from him and his side of the family that I don't really love, but I've mostly made peace with. Male pattern baldness, chronic lower back pain, high blood sugar, and the inability to even look at a cookie without immediately gaining 5 pounds. And there are some things that I have inherited from him that I am, not really so fond of. I got a lot of rage from him. Sometimes it is aimed at the injustices in this world, but more often it's aimed at traffic, my inability to find my keys, or at myself for not being more fill in the blank. I definitely get my impatience from him, my impulse control, or my lack thereof, my addictive personality, and also my bouts of intense depression. Thanks, Dad. I have also inherited a lot of unhelpful stories from him. Stories like, when something bad happens to me, it's because that's what I deserve. And when something good happens to me, it was because I was lucky and it probably won't happen again. I learned not to ever become too dependent on anyone because they will eventually abandon you. I learned that love must be earned, and that I can never really do enough to earn it. I learned the story that I should not let anyone ever truly know me, because if they truly knew me, they wouldn't love me. I have learned the story that at my core, I am not really worthy of love. I do not blame my father for passing these things down to me, these stories down to me. They were passed down to him by his father, and surely his father before him. And I really do believe that my dad did the best that he could, even if at times that best left a lot to be desired. What Jesus tells us in today's gospel is that there is another story. So today in the reading from Matthew, Jesus is he's giving, believe it or not, a pep talk to the disciples. He's about to send them out into the world to tell this new story, to invite them into a new covenant, an invitation to a new world order, a new life. One where we are innately worthy of love, innately deserving of good things. A life in which we are fully known, down to the number of hairs on our head, which for some of us is a pretty quick count. But we are fully known, nothing is hidden, and we are loved. not in spite of that, but because of that. We are invited into a life of community, a life of abundance. This is the story that Jesus is inviting us to live into. The story that he is sending out his disciples to invite even more people to live into. But there's a catch. If you want to be a part of this movement, you have to cut ties with the old stories. And letting go of those old stories, it is not a peaceful process. So many of us, we've lived with the old stories for so long that they're comfortable. They fit like our favorite hoodie. Telling them to ourselves is like retelling a favorite fairy tale or watching that favorite Disney VHS. So how do we let go of the old stories? Therapy. Lots of therapy. And prayer. And meditation. These things help us recognize when the old stories are rearing their heads, help us realize that we can choose to quiet those voices, invite new voices and new stories in. But one of the most important things that we can do is we can spend more time around the people that remind you that you are loved, and a little less time around the people that don't remind you of that. Sometimes that means spending less time around our families. And sometimes that means forming a new family, a chosen family. Sometimes peace looks a lot like a sword. Sometimes we have to lose an old life to gain a better one. However you celebrate or do not celebrate today, I hope that you know that there is a divine parent who knows you, all of you, who loves you just as you are, and who is so proud to call you their child. Amen.
Amen.